to Jeff Koinange live here at Citizen Television with the dynamic duo. That's right, senators from different parties, but they come together to talk about the future of this great nation. Super Senator Sakaja, county number 047, Nairobi County, and Mutula Kilonzo Jr, county number 017. They are 30 counties apart. Do you realize that? Yeah. 17 and 47.
Yeah, I thought about it.
In the house, and I tell you, speaking of 30s, they're in their 30s.
This guy is not.
No, he's in 30s. No, he's lying to us.
In spirit, but actually...
Okay. But still, you guys are the future. Yeah. Kimani Ichung'wah Mheshimiwa has literally tweeted in, and he says, Jeff, I will be in a meeting with the two senators tomorrow morning at 10:30. Is that true?
It's at 9, actually.
First of all, no, it's 9.
It's 9. Tell him it's 9 o'clock. Tell him to keep time. We're told he doesn't wake up early.
It's 9.
Okay. He says 10:30 on the division of revenue bill.
Yeah.
He says, I hope they will come with the same spirit of smaller budgets and drop their bid for an additional 25 billion shillings. It will be one step in the right direction. Senator.
There's so much pan in that because we are actually not demanding for 25. We are at 327 billion against 3 trillion. Please do the math. We have 47 counties.
Yes.
We are at 327 billion, and they are at 3 trillion.
They are 3 trillion.
Yeah.
Senator, other than him being on time, would you tell him?
No, I mean, is our standing orders don't allow us to get into so much detail?
Yeah.
Because tomorrow is the final day for us to agree on the division of revenue.
Yeah.
And if we don't, then it is it's a stalemate and the bill is lost.
Yeah.
And so both national and county governments cannot draw from it. And that spirit he's talking about is the same spirit we've been saying.
Yes.
It cannot be that you want to reduce the counties money, but you're increasing the national government's money. It's not fair. But we
have told them what's good for the goose
must be good for the gander.
Must be good for the gander.
Yeah.
If you move NYS, you must move counties.
Yeah.
If you don't touch NYS, don't touch counties. It's so simple.
But look, you can turn around and say the counties have not been spending their money as well as they should. Some, not all. Yours is fantastic. You guys are probably number one. But there's some counties where obviously the money is being misspent, and that's not right.
Oh, it's not right, but that argument also flows from national government. It has been copied, but it doesn't mean that since we have one thief, everybody is a thief, and we punish that thief and punish. Because if you punish a county, you're not punishing the governor, or you're not punishing the senator. You're punishing the poor people, citizens who have paid their taxes faithfully, who are going to be taxed for fuel levy, etc., etc. Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Finally, we have said this at Senate, we are going to jail some people. It will happen. Whether now, because the Constitution allows even the people to be surcharged or whether or not they're in political office. It doesn't bother us, but we'll catch up with the people who are misusing public resources at counties. And governors, the warning has been issued.
No matter how long it takes?
It doesn't matter how long it takes because there is no limitation on action, on criminal action.
There's no limitation.
No statutory limitation.
There's no statutory limitation.
But Jeff,
even under the sea, we'll catch up with you.
that argument... that there is corruption in the counties.
Yes.
So because of that, let's starve them of cash. Is a self-defeatist argument. First of all, it is cutting off your nose to spite your face. First of all, counties, there is corruption in a lot of counties. Out of 314 billion, some of it is being lost.
A lot of it.
Is there no corruption in the 3 trillion at the national level?
Of course there is.
So why don't we reduce everyone's? You cannot say that because you guys are corrupt, we're not giving you. But the biggest scandals we're talking about are in national government.
Yes.
Sure.
So we'll not use that argument to defeat devolution.
Okay.
And to fight devolution.
Senator Mutula says we're going to arrest or have people arrested. We're still waiting. The Auditor General comes out and says X county, this governor or this team, this guy has 1,500 accounts under his family's and children's names. And come on, man. I mean, it's obvious. This, it's not rocket science. But no one's getting arrested.
Are you seeing some of the decisions coming from our courts? That somebody goes and says, anticipatory bail. That please, just in case I'm arrested.
Yeah.
And the court says, this person don't arrest.
I'm thinking I'll be arrested.
Don't prosecute. Don't investigate. And the DCI said, we have not even thought about that guy. we know what is happening in our courts. I'm glad to see the DPP and the DCI in the US. I hope they're learning some lessons there.
Yes, from Quantico.
Yeah, you know. and it's on a raft of issues.
Yes.
On corruption, on the fight against terrorism, etc. But we need now to put our money where the mouth is. And I keep saying, you know, DCI, please, bring us files that are worth their salt. The shock therapy has been done.
Right.
It's been done. All those arrests, Kenyans are now getting tired.
Yes.
That when the noise goes down, arrest Kidero.
Correct.
Or arrest this person.
Also Azuri.
If not Azuri, Kidero. You know.
Right.
Stop that. Now give us concrete files. Even 2 or 3. Kenyans just want to see 2
people,
big guys in jail
Yes.
as a deterrent to others. Iwe funzo kwa wengine wenye tabia kama hiyo. So the shock therapy has happened. It's happened in the legislature. We have MPs wameshikwa. It's happened in the executive. You know, CS is being grilled for days, people being arrested. Kina Swazuri and the rest, Kina Kidero and the rest. It's happened in the judiciary even with Milu's case. So the shock has been done. Now, concrete. Don't think you'll go with a bad case to the judiciary and expect a conviction. But also in the judiciary, the Chief Justice should also, I know, you know, the judges have judicial independence in their judgment, but he needs to give administrative direction and tell them, please, these cases must be done 24 hours. Finish them. We don't hear, oh, now we will push it to September. We'll push it to May.
Yes.
Justice delayed is justice denied. Get concrete cases, the holy trinity of the criminal justice system. And I hope they learn that from the States. In the US, there's no special ESCC or something like that. But the judiciary, the investigative, in fact, the FBI is under the AG's office.
Correct. Correct.
So the FBI, the investigation and the judiciary have a multi-agency partnership that makes sure by the time we're coming to Jeff, hii kesi inaenda kuisha. And jail people. That's what Kenyans want.
There's a conclusion.
Yeah, funga.
Not delayed.
No. We're getting tired. You know, the momentum was good when Haji and Kinoti came. In fact, people were saying these two should run for president. Haji and the running. And there was all that like, but let me tell you, when you delay people's expectations, when you delay a revolution, it turns and it eats you. You know? So now the momentum starts waning and people are like, in his story too. Tomorrow, when my boss speaks, they're like, he'll just say it again. And they're taking the wind out of his sail.
Bingo.
They call in Nairobi they call it kipindire. But the point is kipindire. Yes, drama too for nothing. Because it's unfathomable that somebody can withdraw 20 million shillings, 30 million shillings, carry it in cash. Go buy a house. It's you know the impunity with which people are operating, because all this money is in systems. The systems are available. We have asked this question: how did you, if a county requisition to buy, to build X, it ends up buying Y? Who approved in between? So we as senators are extremely frustrated. We are even going to a place where we are thinking that Parliament, and particularly Senate, want to have what we call a parliamentary audit office, like they have it in the US, where we can send auditors ourselves. Because we have had a debate today. People are saying even these audit reports are doctored. It's a clean record for nothing.
For nothing.
It's just sanitizing corruption by making it look nice and smelling like a rose. So we need to be able to tackle. But Sakaja says is right, that we actually don't need 10 people. We just need 2 cases.
Give us a minister and a governor.
That's it.
Wearing the striped suit. The striped suits in committee. Wakifieka nyasi. Good. It helps us.
But you know,
it helps the country. It helps the psyche. It helps the war on corruption. Sometimes you understand when the president says he's frustrated, because some of these things are obvious. You know what you call obvious little things, that this gentleman was or lady was rags to riches story.
Correct. Overnight.
But Jeff, 2 things on top of that. I think a positive occurrence this week. Our Public Accounts Committee in the Senate now has Assistant Director in the ESCC permanently assigned to the committee.
So we'll not be referring cases.
So we're not referring wako hapo akisikia kesi. We go step by step with the ESCC. So governors, please.
You want.
The clock is ticking. Siku za wezi ni 40. Number 2. And if you're good, if you're okay, because I saw someone asking why governors are saying that we're embarrassing them for nothing, embarrassing questions. If you have the answers, no question is embarrassing. Just come and bring your...
Where Jibu?
But number 2, You know, I've always said that, you know, the president can jail people, his hands are tied and whatnot. But I've really thought about it. And I think on that, I have probably not been 100% correct. I've been honest, but not 100% correct. Because it is true, he can't jail.
And I've told you, you're not correct.
Because, you know, he cannot jail, it is true. Yes. These are not the Kanu days. He can't even appoint judges. Yeah? So that conveyor belt of the criminal justice system, he's not there. All he can do, and he's done more than anybody else, is fire people, get them out of government. Right. But you know, he has intelligence.
Yes.
He has administrative action that he can take based on intelligence. Yeah. He knows, you know, I'm in your government, and I'm stealing, and you let me sit with you in cabinet.
Imagine.
You know? Don't wait for the criminal justice system. Don't wait for that. Fanya kama Moi saa 7 news, usikie.
Announce.
Out. Because if you know somebody is stealing,
Tangaza.
Please, do not sit in cabinet with thieves, my friend, Your Excellency, the President. Don't. Yeah? Don't have directors, don't have people in ministries where you know for sure. Kameru has told you. Yeah? Yeah. It is clear from that person's life. That person was borrowing 2 million last year. Today he's saying he's worth 2 billion. He's building a palatial home somewhere. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I believe in God. I believe in blessings. But zinakujanga pia na form. They come.
Blessing is organized.
In Nairobi we say zinakuja na rieng. Narada. You know, they come. There's a way things come. There's a natural progression of things. Yeah. So that person, even before,
it's not rocket science. I keep saying this.
Yeah, let them out. Let them deal with their case. Yeah. Well, they're outside. Please.
The judiciary needs to see that we are taking also political responsibility. Yeah. Because chapter 6, I insist that chapter 6 has got nothing to do with conviction.
But they buried chapter 6. You people buried it. We didn't Integrity and leadership.
Forget about the act. Forget about the act. I'm talking about the chapter in the Constitution itself. It's a moral question and a political question as opposed to conviction. Yeah. Move the fellow, put another person, remove them,
and move on.
Move on. Let the court of public opinion deal with that issue. Yeah. But then people out there, even the judiciary, because they listen to you, Jeff, they read newspapers like everybody else, they would see the message. But you're prosecuting them, you come to say, no, we don't want vigilante justice when you're in parliament.
Correct.
What are they thinking? The person who is prosecuting is wondering, do I summon the CS or not?
You're almost afraid now.
You're almost afraid now.
If you want to know how important political tone is, political tone even without anything concrete. Yeah. Look at the handshake. What was it? You know, it was, I mean, it's big, I believe in it. It was symbolic when we unite this country. They just shook hands on steps. After that, Vita Elisha.
Kabisa.
There was no more violence.
Yes.
People hugging each other. People are mixing githeri and fish. You know, as and across the country, it set the mood. Yeah. The political tone that is set by the president, the symbol of national unity of this country, on an issue such as corruption, goes far and wide. Even it enters the judiciary stronger than you tell him, Maraga, hey, funga watu. Yeah. Right. The political tone that is set, and your consistency. Consistency is key. You know, and I hope, because that is what must be the legacy. Tuache kuongea mambo ya siasa 2022 sijui nini. That is a true legacy.
But then you can avoid it because Tanga Tanga and Kieleweke are the order of the day. By the way, Ishungwa has messaged back. You know what he says? I'll tell you right now. He says, ati musome nini?
Nini?
Musome minutes zimetoka.
Ametutumia.
Ati ni 10:30.
Tell Ishungwa. Apande Nduthi from Kipu. He comes to join us on the show. Because now,
tell them to read the group chat. Timing has changed.
And
then Francis Atwoli is watching from Geneva, Switzerland.
He's gone for ILO.
Yes, he has gone for ILO, correct.
I know I'm the chairman of Labour. I'm supposed to be there.
I was pleasantly surprised. The gentleman really enjoyed his birthday.
You gotta love him.
When I grow up.
When I grow up, I want to be like him. You know, receive a cake by any office.
And he loves this guy, huh?
He loves this guy. They are relatives.
He calls him his son.
He's my papa.
Relative.
He's my mzee.
Good guy. So I was talking about Kieleweke and Tanga Tanga. They keep talking about it every day. It's even deviated from the big four, if you ask me.
That's their big five.
Correct. Yeah. Go on.
Let me tell you, as a member of Jubilee, not just a member, founding member, as in chairman of one of the founding parties. Jeff, the next election is 3 years, 57 days, 7 hours, 25 minutes from now.
You have it on your phone?
Yes.
3 years?
3 years, 57 minutes, 7 hours, 25 minutes from now. The last election was 1 year, 308 days ago. The last election is closer to us than the next election. If we must focus on an election, let us focus on the last one. And say, Mutula was elected in Makueni. Amefanya nini? Sakaja was elected in Nairobi. What is he doing? Let's focus on that one. And we are very clear in our party. The president told us, please, guys, we want to achieve this. This is a contract we have with the people. The first day we got into parliament, he called a PG. He said, please, I know how our party is structured and the succession in our party. And in fact, in 2022, I'll be the biggest campaigner. But for now, let's focus on this work. And because he really wanted that political calm, because the political environment actually does affect the economy. He even went across now to his opponent and said, my brother Raila. He humbled himself as a president who has won, goes to someone who has been sworn in as people's president, says, you know what, please, tukae tufanye kazi pamoja. Now, so for this now, the noise, and the ODM people, the opposition, they kept quiet. Me, I didn't hear politics from Wiper. I didn't hear politics from ODM. I didn't hear politics from elsewhere. It came from within our party. As members of Jubilee, all of us. Because Tanga are wrong. Keleweke are wrong. Both of them. An eye for an eye, we both lose our sight.
That's it.
And you cannot get ahead when you're trying to get even. So even those ones in Keleweke are doing the wrong thing. You cannot go around castigating and telling them to stop campaigning while campaigning. You know, it's like my my son the other day. I asked him, he's crying. So I asked him, what happened? Oh, we were fighting. Who started the fight? It started when he punched me back. Like now, surely, you know. So
punched me back.
That's when it started.
So he threw the first punch.
Yeah. It cannot be that any of them are doing the right thing. And I'll ask them, please, guys. Our leader is the president and the deputy. Let us focus on work. Let's work for Kenyans. 1 year, how many days ago?
300.
1 year, 308.
Correct.
This one is 3 years and 57 days and counting.
But Senator, isn't this? It's kind of comical, isn't it? That Jubilee
is Cornish.
Cornish.
It's Cornish. Yeah. You know the slogan has changed. It's tulikuwa pamoja.
No. Jubilee tuko pamoja.
Tulikuwa pamoja. Mambo yakibadilika tukikuwa pamoja, you know.
Tulikuwa
pamoja. The greatest opposition is in Jubilee, I tell you. I mean, they've given us an easy time. We sit and watch them. They are giving us a lot of drama.
But you know, you guys are not playing your role.
No.
And you see today, there's no position in the country.
There's no position.
Yeah. And let me tell you,
that's the value of handshake.
A vibrant economy requires a strong government, but it needs more of a strong opposition for the vibrance of democracy.
You know the problem.
And that's why there's a gap.
Yeah.
And Musalia is trying to fill it. Who is trying to fill it?
Miguna is trying to fill that.
Yeah. From Vancouver, where is he?
Toronto.
You know, we are
by the way,
the only problem about it is the real opposition is competing with the opposition in government. So you actually don't know what's happening because the real opposition is being camouflaged by the opposition from government.
So what happens come 2022? I mean, where do people stand then?
Why does it matter, Jeff? The US election is next year.
Yeah.
Do you know the Democrat candidate?
No, we don't. There's 23 of them.
Imagine, it's just next year. Ours is like it's next week.
But Jeff, the reality, forget about the ideal situation. The reality is Kenyans really love politics. If there were no politics, you'd be out of business.
Absolutely, it's our religion.
You'll be out of business. We've met so many politicians here today.
Yeah.
I'm told it's political Wednesday. If there were no politics, you would be over. You would shut down. So it's fun and games. People love it. The more you tell them not to do it, they do it.
Jeff, politics is not.
So they enjoy it.
Politics is not just about an election.
Yeah.
Politics is about who gets what when. Yeah. We can have politics about issues. We can have politics about the division of revenue bill. We can have politics about Chinese in Gikomba, you know, and why they need to, and we need to talk about that. I hope we're going to talk about that.
Well, since you're at it,
about that.
Since you're at it, Gikomba,
Nyamakema,
and where else? Kamkunji market, right?
Yeah.
Matiang'i said today that he's going to deport the Chinese. Is that just talk, or will that happen? Because they are in there, they are ndani.
Jeff, I heard him speaking, and he was talking about 6 Chinese. But the problem is bigger than that. Let me start it from here, Jeff. And I'll talk about a lady I know called Lucy Waithera and another one called Anyokavi. They do business in Nyamakima. And there's a time they had called us, they even demonstrated, and they told me we go to Nyamakima and listen to these traders. These traders have been importing goods from China. Yeah, they go to China, they buy goods in large quantities. They go get them pre-shipment inspection, which under KEBS, but in China at the port. They come to Nairobi, to Mombasa. They're held at the port. They're held at the port because these people, one trader cannot pay for a full container. So the many of them, it's what you call consolidation. You have your pallet, another person. So because of one person's, maybe there's an issue there, they hold it and they say it's counterfeit. They hold the whole container. Yeah. And then later you find your counterfeit goods have been auctioned and they're being sold in someone else's shop. Number one, you say that a firimbi is counterfeit. Tell me, have you seen an original vuvuzela or a fake one? Duvet. The kind of things they were saying are counterfeit. It's impossible. But that Chinese person has followed you to come and see where you're selling it. Remember, they're the ones who are doing that pre-shipment inspection. So they're even slowing down how fast your goods come. They come and they set up shop here in Nairobi next to you. With the same goods? With the same goods. Jeff, a country that values foreigners more than its own people has lost it. Yeah. We'd rather now just give the title deed of Kenya. Yeah, we've lost it. To Apatia. So I'm glad. And in fact, I went all the way there with the chief of staff of State House. I went to Nzioka. I told Nzioka, come listen to these people. And he came with the KEBS MD then. He came with the KRA and anti-counterfeit. And told the anti-counterfeit is not a war against our people. You cannot tell us something is counterfeit if it's not being manufactured in Kenya. Because then we'll be protecting Kenyan companies. Correct. But just because it is not branded Philips, it's a bulb, Sinawaka. Let people choose what they're doing. So we must protect those traders. Number two, you cannot just say that you're deporting 6 people. Yet these guys, they're not just in Gikomba. They have go-downs in industrial area, big go-downs. They're just applying Lewa Natoa Belmoja, Lewa Natoa competing with our people. So you must first ask, how did they get work permits? Yes. To be working in Kenya legally, to do work that Kenyans can do. By the way, is there a Kenyan in Guangzhou doing the same thing? Or Shanghai? My friend, utakula noodles jela. I tell you. Number two, how did the county government of Nairobi give them permits, business permit? Because any shop must have a business permit. Correct. So how do you give Shuanghui a permit to sell tires in Luthuli, or to sell electronics, to sell cosmetics? So let us stop fighting our traders. And I'm glad, I'm very happy the president went even to the whatever ICDL, the depot for the container. And he said release these goods. He gave them some waiver because these people have brought their things. The demurrage costs, zimewekwa kwa port. And by the way, they have a loan in the bank, right? Yes. They have a loan. They're being auctioned. Many of them are being auctioned. Yes. This is the backbone of our economy. Yeah. Those traders. Yeah. I asked the president, boss, I see you sitting with KEPSA. I like KEPSA. They're good guys. I see you sitting in Kenya Association of Manufacturers. They're good guys. But these guys are contributing more to the GDP. Yes. The SMEs in this country, just because they're not in fancy suits like yours or nice ties like Mutula's, does not mean that they're also the private sector. Yes. So sit down with these guys. Yeah. Let's help our Kenyan business people. Look at our Uber drivers, Jeff. 25% enter an Uber. Right now, if you enter an Uber here to town, it's 150 shillings, Bob. 150. To town. And a border is how much? 150. Will you go to the border? No. No. You'll enter the Uber and you're 4 guys. First of all, you're removing that border guy from the economy. Number 2, immediately you pay, 25% goes to the Netherlands. Not a shilling comes to Kenya. Those guys are driving 18 hours. They're causing accidents. That's why there's a bill I'm bringing to Parliament that is going to mandate the competition authority and everybody to set those minimum rates. In New York today, if you get into an Uber, and I was in one recently, immediately you see how much the rate is. The state has been paid, the federal tax that has been paid, and number 2, that person's rate per hour per minute is much better than what we're getting. Same in London. So let's protect our Kenyans. Let's protect Kenyans. Let me ask you this, and I'm not playing devil's advocate here, but let's face it. There are Chinese wherever you go, from Angola to San Francisco. But they behave in San Francisco. So what's the difference here? We bow down to them, we bend over for them. What is it? Jeff, ukiingia SGR, the person giving you a ticket, Chinku. Yes. Sorry to use that. No, it's true. It's Chinese. True. I'm sorry to use such a term. The person showing you where to sit. And Kenyan youths are unemployed.
Let me tell you.
That's the picture right there.
Jeff,
that's the picture.
I spoke about this a year ago.
Road to Shanghai.
I called it the road to Shanghai. And it's actually coming faster than I thought.
Than you ever expected.
And I expected. This afternoon, Senator Sakaja and others found a Chinese official seated in my office. Seated in my office, trying to explain that they agree with our comments about what we are saying about the Chinese, but it's not good enough to deport and agree, because let me tell you, Mama Wangeshi, who has been my client, works in Gikomba. That's where she earns a living. She pays her duties, she pays her taxes. Ruth, who comes from Wote, drives all the way to Gikomba, buys goods from Gikomba, goes and sells them in Wote, makes a shilling here and there. If you get into a matatu from Zambezi, Udhiru, you find those Kikuyu women, those old women, carrying goods and going to Gikomba to trade. Last week I came in from Makueni and there was traffic, so drove through Mudurwa. Kenyans were selling goods and it was raining cats and dogs. They're selling vegetables, miambili, miatatu. Ordinary Kenyans who want to make an honest living. How did we end up that the intelligence of this country didn't see the Chinese until they appear in a newspaper? That they are selling
on the front page of the Business Daily.
They are selling where, and they're selling the smallest thing. And you know what they are doing? Because of the SGR, they are taking advantage of the SGR. They are running you and I out of business. They are running because they are going to take over your work. Jeff, next time I come here, the person who is going to open my door out there is going to be Chinese.
The guy out there?
The guy out there who's opening the gate is going to be
Even
Chinese.
the host might be
the host might be Chinese. I've said this as a joke because it has happened.
It'll be Jeff.
But in fact, the Chinese are going to be the Chinese are going to be a minority. We are going to elect Hong Wang Hua, MCA into this guy's assembly.
Yes.
But what is the point? The point is that they have a business advantage. Against Mama Njeri, Mama Mukali in Gikomba. Where they're taking advantage of their proximity to the railway, they're taking advantage of the proximity to authorities, because I believe there is corruption.
Well, I was about to say there must be corruption for them to get those work permits.
The other day in Narok, there was a tour guide who was Chinese, a driver who is Chinese.
No.
And they're talking about our elephants and rhinos.
And speaking in Chinese.
And speaking Wang. What are you
Jeff,
guys?
wait and see the report of my labor committee. Because we're looking at that SGR issue. They even come with their own sufurias and their chefs. You know? Every category of work. I know it is. And let me tell you, it's not easy for us as state officers. To talk about a friendly country like this.
Correct. In general, yes.
It is not, but we must talk for our people.
Jeff,
we must talk for our people.
Absolutely.
Where it has reached,
no.
How do you say it? The flour has exceeded the water. So please, let us.
Because
or the feces has hit the air conditioner.
The bottom.
Do you like that?
That one.
Let's protect them.
The bottom of the pyramid.
Yes.
Let me tell you, Jeff, you may not know. Gikomba market supplies toy market. The people, then they buy from the bales in Gikomba, go and clean them up.
Wanachukua camera.
They take it to toy market. They go to Kawangware. So the people who don't want to go to Gikomba go to toy market. And go to other markets in the city. It is an economy.
By the way, camera ni zile
za juu,
fresh.
Kabisa.
Camera.
And their clothes. So this is such a serious issue that just a statement that you're going to deport this is not good enough.
No, it's not.
We want to know,
and
how did these people get into the country?
Number one. And number two, don't deport 6. Where the other 600?
And it's an entire value chain.
Yes.
It's an entire value chain. Number one, the KEBS appointees in China inspecting our imports are the ones colluding. So start from there.
Oh my God.
If KEBS is appointed, let Kenyans, the Kenyans in China have met them. We have a Confucius Institute here in the University of Nairobi that's teaching Chinese. Let them go inspect our things so they don't delay them. Number two, the shipping. When they come here, and I'm glad the president has said, once things have been inspected there, don't inspect again here unless there is reasonable doubt as to the veracity or authenticity of what is in there. So harakisha your value system. Number 3, in fact I hope the CS is watching. Twende na yeye nimuoneshe go downs. Twende nimuoneshe go downs. Zimeja mingi. And it's all manner of goods, Jeff, that Kenyans can do. You try go do it in Beijing.
Oh,
you will be
done. Friend.
You know,
you're a friend.
Foreign, let me tell you, international relations are based on the principle of reciprocity.
Yes.
Yeah. What you do here, I should be able to do there.
Over there.
And vice versa.
You know, I don't know whether you've watched an interview of Dr. Mahathir. You know, that gentleman, you know, it's a man after my heart. Dr. Mahathir in his old age spoke about the cities that they are doing, spoke about the industry that they're creating. He said, what, I have no objection to my neighbors, but if we've got to have some order.
Yes.
The president of the Republic of Kenya must speak about this issue, because our ordinary Kenyans are frustrated, and we do not know who is. And then when we comment about it, they behave, you know, knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah, it is knee-jerk. It is knee-jerk.
Some fellow who beat up a Kenyan, you deport just one fellow from some place in industrial area. People are losing jobs. We are giving the jobs to other people. They're dumping things here. Kenyans will not be able to do it. What do you think is going to happen, Jeff?
Jeff,
Huyu jamaa atanyongwa, I'm telling you.
Nairobi. And when I'm saying they're doing jobs Kenyans can do.
Tapigwa ngeta.
Serious.
Maybe by the Chinese, but atapigwa ngeta huyu. Because if these people can't, an ordinary Kenyan cannot do honest business.
Yes.
Jeff, Kenyans.
What do you think he's going to do?
Become a thief.
He become a thief.
Become a thief.
Jeff, Kenyans. Even these guys behind the cameras here. Kenyans are very hardworking.
They are, but they want a
Kenyans
level playing field.
are enterprising. Yes. They just want a fair chance. This guy is coming, number one, he's fully financed by whether it's Exim Bank or whatever.
Yes.
They're fully financed, so he has credit.
Yes.
Kenyans are not accessing.
No.
Number one. Number two, transport, ako nayo. Number three, anakuja hapa. In fact, that is why many of the buildings, and it's not just Chinese, many other foreign nationals, you go down Lupul, you go down Nyamakima, where not, the price, the goodwill, small square footage, 2 million shillings. 2 million. You go try tomorrow, get a stall on my avenue. And the good will have to pay. As in, surely, please.
Yeah.
Let's stop being at war with our people. Let's support the president's plan on actually reviving the economy. When you talk about manufacturing, CO2, Akina, Vimal and those big ones, manufacturing is my guys doing mbao here in Nini. On Ngong Road. Manufacturing is the furniture guys there outside Gikomba. And yet we are still importing furniture from those people.
Imagine.
And then you say buy Kenya, build Kenya. You enter any CS's office, tell me if you'll see Kenyan furniture.
It's not made in that place.
You know, enter any governor's office. And it's like, oh, you want to brag, he metoka Dubai, he metoka China. No. You know, Kenyans have the skill. They can do it. I'm still waiting for the seats that are going to occupy our new offices. That it's a 16-story, 17-story building somewhere in Parliament.
But definitely not be local.
No?
It will not be.
I want my carpenters in Madare, everywhere.
Yes.
Wapatiwe tender.
Call the carpenters.
Yeah.
From all over the country.
Give them your spec.
Compete. Yes.
Yes. From Machakos, wherever. Tell them
show me what you can do.
Show me what we can do. We want seats for Parliament building from ground floor all the way to the 16th floor. Give them that business.
Come to my house, you know where I live.
Yes.
Look at my furniture. There's no item that is not made in Kenya.
Are you serious?
Come see.
Everything.
Everything. Everything. TV stand, meza, kitty.
Is that why you're going to be president one day?
What?
Jeff, you know,
but you know, I believe in you, man. I believe in you. And you guys, again, you know, I'm 20 years older than you guys. So, you know.
Oh, you have to tell everybody.
You know, by deduction, they'll be able to establish it.
But you are the future, guys, and you speak what people think. A lot of Kenyans are afraid to speak up and speak out.
The Bible says,
the truth will set us free.
And you shall know the truth.
Oh, is that what you're going to quote?
How did you know? How did you know you were going to say the same thing?
We're in sync.
You see?
No, by the way, we actually used to go to the same church.
Yeah.
By the way, what are you reading now? Have you exchanged any books lately?
I'm reading a John Grisham, actually.
For the years we've been coming to this show, Jeff, I've brought books. None of you has ever given me a book. So let's go to other things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, can I give you Miguna's latest on treason?
No, I stopped reading comedy.
Yeah.
So,
ouch.
So for now,
oh my goodness.
I'm now studying.
Okay. Maybe you should give him Seasons of Hope by Mutula. What
Seasons, actually, that is a book I have on my bedside.
You know,
Seasons of Hope by
Seasons of
Mutula.
Hope.
That's why you guys will make a good president, vice president, man. You know, you just call it. No chills. The chills you left in Gikomba.
Chills or fridge.
Or in Guangzhou.
Yeah.
Tweets, Green Shop EA1. Crazy that corruption is in budget and still after this, they don't even implement the projects. They even oversteal, whatever that means, past the budgeted corruption amount. Where do they think the county's allocation percentage should be at, theoretically? Yeah. Where is it at right now? County's allocation, are we at 35, 32?
It's a fallacy. It's an absolute fallacy. Because it's 32 of what? Because the audited accounts that...
The last audited revenue...
It's a 1 point something billion. So if it was 30% of the 3 trillion, we will be talking.
1 trillion.
That's if what it should be.
It should be 30% of the 3 trillion.
Which is 1 trillion?
Yes.
Over 47 counties.
That's what it should be.
Yes.
Right.
What it says now in the Constitution is that it's a minimum of 15% of the last audited revenue.
Accounts.
Now, the last audited revenue is years back, 2015-16. You know? Yet we're dealing with actuals of today.
Okay.
So when you say 35%, it sounds nice.
But it's not.
It's Nyakitambo.
Kipindire.
Kipindire. Charles Caris says, I appreciate Senator Johnson Sakaja and Senator Mutula, but they also need to motivate and give hope by telling Kenyans what works within government/state. We elected you to solve the issues you are highlighting right now. That's what they elected you for.
That's what we are doing. That's what we are doing. When we are saying finance counties to the extent that they remain functional, that is what we are doing. We are trying to solve a problem which the people who are fighting devolution want governors to continue paying salaries, and there's minimal development, so that governors come to Nairobi with balls begging. That is not why we have devolution. That's why we are fighting.
But Senator, those who say that the Senate should be abolished, what do you tell them?
Let me tell you, if you see what's happening in our counties today, and what's happening in the national government today with respect to devolution, imagine without a Senate. Imagine without a prefect or a brick. You know? First of all, the governors, ile ndogo watapata, because watapata ndogo from national government, watakula yote. And who hurts at the end of the day? Jeff.
Kenyans.
Wananchi. And we're looking forward to kusikia budget ya kesho. Tuone what we have for the people.
Good man. Dollar Man KE says, we can't agree on whose portrait deserves to appear on our currency. Even the mothers who took food to the Mau Mau fighters are heroes, I guess.
It's a fact.
True,
it's a fact.
But other countries have done it.
Yes.
Yeah, you just say this one. You know, there are many heroes, but there's only one founding father. There was one general of Mau Mau.
Right.
There's one, you know, just let's be, you know, serious.
Good one. Joe Wainaina says, Johnson Sakaja, Mutula, Kilonzo Jr. complaining about an inflated budget, yet, they declined to accept the 250,000 shilling housing allowance they awarded themselves in total disregard of the SRC.
That one, you need to sit down for us to talk about it. Let me say this, Jeff, because this is a question. You know, when this issue has come up, many politicians would want to run away from it.
Yeah.
And the dilemma that normally comes, someone says, do I side with my colleagues or do I say something populist to appease the people?
Yes.
And whenever a politician encounters such a challenge, you go to the depths of your conscience and say what is actually things as they are and supposed to be. Jeff, number one, me and Mutula and many other colleagues, we don't participate in these discussions. We don't even set our own salaries. Yeah? And our salary, we're an employee of an employer, PSC, and SRC.
Yep.
Katiba says SRC sets salary. If SRC says that I'm to get 10,000 house allowance, I will take it. Whatever they say that I should take, I will take.
Right.
But as a leader, you know, my appeal really to the rest of us is when we make these decisions, let's also see where Kenyans are. You know, it hurts Kenyans to see that while they're suffering, we've spoken about how hakuna kitu kwa mfuko.
Yes.
And what the president said, and I agree with him 100%. Public office is not an avenue for us to go and reach ourselves. For the last 7 years, we've not had it, you know. So this thing is in court. We'll abide by the court's decision. For me, I'm ready to abide by whatever they say. We'll do. Wakisema
refund
has allowance tatu. But right now, when you tell me, okay, people have been asking, but you've not declined it. There's no avenue to decline it. I can't write a check to Parliament to give back that money.
No.
There's no way they can receive it.
They've stopped it.
And number two, even if I send it, itaenda tu bado huko ipotele huko. Yeah. So on this one, objectively, Jeff, for us, me as an individual, and I'm sure my brother Mutula, because I believe he believes in the same thing.
Yes.
Let's take it. If Kenyans had jobs and the economy was booming and they wouldn't care what.
No, they wouldn't care. They wouldn't care.
They wouldn't care what
they're paid. Yes.
You know? So there must be a balance. So us as MPs, I know we're being vilified. The PSC and SRC, let them set it.
Yeah.
Whatever they said, mukasawa.
These discussions tunanga kwa gazeti. Oh, tuliongezewa. Kwa nini? Hatukuuliza. You know, so just in all honesty, if whatever the court says,
I'll abide by.
Kama ni 2,000 tukule hiyo zito tu.
No, hata kama ni 0. Sawa tu.
Yeah.
Mukasawa.
We have been surviving, bwana.
Before we vied, we didn't look for remuneration on this job description. No.
Correct.
It is to serve.
We didn't apply on remuneration.
No.
Thank you. Babu in Nairobi says, I think top of the referendum question should be the midterm elections. What do the two senators view it?
What midterm elections?
What?
Yeah. Is there a referendum?
We don't know. I've asked that question.
Will there be a referendum?
There will be a referendum.
By the way, I sometimes doubt.
You see, there being a referendum.
Yeah.
In fact, the question is, are there issues that we need to change in our constitution?
Yes.
Yes, there are issues.
Yes.
For me, my personal view, and with my interaction, and you know I talk to many people, far, wide, high, low.
Correct.
The things we need to change do not have necessarily to be changed before the next election.
Yeah.
To save money, we can't have an ask 20 billion. How much does it cost?
More than
that.
Way more than that.
At least.
Those questions that we are asking ourselves, let us have just an extra ballot on the day of the election. So it is not an extra cost. And
a question
to chagule hapo. But between now and then, you see what an election does? It truly distorts the economy. I talk to the private sector. It really, because now it's wait and see attitude. Investors don't want to get involved.
Correct.
Will there be violence? Will there not be violence?
Yes.
You know,
it's normal.
Government grinds to a halt. It's not spending.
But if the country can agree on a non-contentious referendum, so much the better.
Because the things
means you have one issue, devolution.
Whatever it is.
What do we do with devolution?
Right.
What do we do with governance?
Yes.
I mean, at executive level, how do we settle this political issue about deputy prime ministers, prime ministers? We resolve that issue. What do we do about constituencies and counties and wards? Do we retain?
That alone will be contentious, my friend.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
But we can agree.
You can agree. 1, 2, 3. We have a census. How do we go about this? So that we can make progress.
The census will cost money as well. The census will cost money.
But it must be done. You must take stock. That's what we're saying. The things that must be done. Number one, according to our constitution that we have now, we must do the census. If we don't do it, this will be the first time we've missed the 10-year, since I think 79 or 89.
Right.
Number two, we must do delimitation of constituencies, because the constitution tells us between 8 and 12 years, and we must redistrict. We must relook at just to protect equality of the vote. Those two must be done. So because those two are very expensive exercises, and you know the state of our economy, na tumukuonyesha vile pesa ni kama ni chache.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. The things because we must change. Jeff, we need an inclusive country. We need to have as many people feeling that we're at the table as a country. My proposal is let's do it with the election, which is also inevitable. But don't bring something between these 3 years and 57 days.
Yes.
When?
There was a question this morning between CRA and ourselves about what is called safe drinking water.
Right.
Statistics on safe drinking water.
Yeah.
Nakuru County is apparently the county with the least safe drinking water in terms of statistics. But in terms of how do we go about making sure that Nakuru has safe drinking water and other counties, we have to wait for the census. Our revenue sharing formula that we are now discussing is based on population.
Yeah.
Now, if you do not have population,
then you can't move forward on this.
Because we want to make sure that we count the people in Nairobi and say the money we are giving you is for serving people.
For serving 5.6 million or whatever the number is.
Yeah, so that we assign responsibilities, hospitals and all these things. So the census is important.
Okay, but we have Huduma number.
Sorry? We
have Huduma.
What is the Huduma number?
Huduma says you, Mutula Jr., you have 3 children, right? And the household has 5 people total.
Do you know? No, Jeff, you're forgetting that even census counts livestock.
Guy.
You mean you don't know?
Camels.
You count the number of camels.
You do not count camels in a census.
You do.
Hey, are you
Jeff,
talking about Jeff?
In the last census,
you count plus
cows. Crisis. You know, Jeff, in the last census, there was a crisis because they said Luyas are 5.6 million.
Yeah.
But they also said chicken are 5 million. And so, Jeff, we said that if all of us undertake our our role,
yes,
to each deal with one,
yes,
there'd be a shortage. Yes. But I promise you, and Jeff, this is not a joke. No. Look at the last census, 2009.
No, for purposes of the pastoralists, you must count the livestock.
So there was 5 million Ingo Hall.
Imagine.
Yes. Because it's got something to do with poverty.
Okay. anyway, that's on a light note. But they count everything.
Okay. Is this SMS? SMS, right, Monica? What do you guys think about the role, usefulness, and legality of deputy governors in Kenya? Good question. How can a county survive without one for 1 year, Nairobi County, and another have one who has dual citizenship? Or which one is that? And lives out of the country and is not a big deal to our Senate. Somewhere up north.
West
Pokot, that's it.
The absentee deputy governor.
Yes, okay, so number one, legality or the use of deputy governor, or lack of thereof.
The constitution says our county is properly constituted. And I've raised this on Nairobi severally, including recently when the governor came to the Senate Committee,
yes,
and said there's no legislation, which has since been passed. And for that, he needs to fill it. The constitution has given us that structure. It is useful for those governors who decide to give their deputies roles. There are some deputy governors who deal with legislative matters on their behalf. Others actually have a docket as CEC, and it helps, you know. So when you say counties are surviving, that's what we want our counties to do. We want our counties to thrive. So it's not about surviving, it's about thriving. And a county will thrive when properly constituted.
Yeah. And the guy in West Pokot, same thing, dual citizenship?
Absolutely.
He is a doctor.
Article 179 is clear. The deputy governor is a deputy chief executive officer of the county.
Okay, so what?
He's a boss. So therefore, where they are being treated like flower girls or boys is wrong. Just the same way, the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya says he's the acting president in the absence of the president.
The president, correct.
It applies mutatis mutandis.
What about dual citizenship in that case?
No, that's wrong. The dual citizen issue has been resolved. You cannot be a state officer and at the same time hold.
We're about to send someone to South Korea as ambassador.
No,
dual citizenship.
No, a state officer cannot be a dual.
It
cannot.
Simple. That's what the constitution says.
Come on, man. Simple. What is wrong? It's just a piece of paper.
What?
It's a passport. It's a book.
Because it's a book, but let me tell you.
But Miguna is in Canada. If it's just a book, boss.
Your allegiance cannot be to two countries.
It cannot be.
I'm very happy. My friend Waziri Joe says that his office furniture is from prisons. Well done.
Wow.
Well done, Waziri.
Joe Mushemi?
Joe Musheru.
Musheru?
Yeah. So he says, and I'm sorry if I sound like I've generalized, but I've gone to many offices. Mingi.
Chinese.
You know, and you can tell the Formica.
It's true.
Yeah. But
so
I'm happy.
Furniture is from prisons?
Yeah, it is from prisons. And I hope the rest do that.
I hope that CS who's going to that prison will be made to make furniture.
But yes.
Like this.
And I hope, Jeff, not just from prisons. Because from prisons, you're not helping the guy on the ground. No. You're helping the prison. In fact, you're helping the institution.
Correct.
Kujeni Ngong Road tutengeneze furniture. Tuende Kamkunji. Tuende Madare tutengeneze furniture. The quality is as good.
Okay. I mentioned the proposed ambassador to South Korea. It was said that she has dual citizenship. Is that right or wrong? State officer?
You cannot.
You're an ambassador for crying out loud.
Mwende is my friend.
Law is clear.
And I'm glad Mwende Mwinzi.
Yes.
And I'm glad that the committee made it clear. Because an ambassador, the reason why that's the only person called His Excellency, is because when the president is not in your country, you're the representative of your president. Such that in South Korea, she is Uhuru Kenyatta, if she gets that job. You cannot have allegiance to two countries. If Trump says, what wait was Ngote or Rudi, will she go back to Ataingia or will she stay? So that must be very clear. If you're a state officer, I mean, even us, we cannot be dual citizens.
You cannot.
I can't.
And if you had dual citizenship at some point, you had to give it up?
You have to.
Huh?
You have to revoke it.
You have to revoke it. You can't. It's not a question of chicken or the egg. It's just one. You choose.
Last SMS from Joe says, what's your take over the new parking system? By the way, what happened to Jumbo Pay and the e-pay thing in your county?
In Nairobi County, there was this EGG Pay, which was a system of collecting revenue. and the contract ended. I think there are some issues with the county government, and so the county government opted to build its homegrown one, which I think is a good thing on principle, such that we need to build capacity within our counties, and we need to give people space to work. And I'm glad that in Nairobi, the IT department, led by Kerich and the rest, and the finance people, have been able to come up with a system. In as much as, the first day it was a flop, and but it's baby steps. It will be strengthened. That's a capacity we need to do. And I keep saying, the things that my governor does right, I say. The ones he does wrong, I say. And I will keep saying both. On that one, I support. 100%. But on top of it, for county governments, we want to make sure that the systems they employ are systems that have accountability. Because, Jeff, if you're the one who is telling me how much you've collected, you can tell me anything. There needs to be some oversight mechanism such that we can all be able to, the Senate, the controller of budget and KRA can also be able to have a peek into the back room and the back door of that system. But the fact that they've done it, kudos 100%, well done Nairobi County Government, well done Kerich and your team, well done Sonko on that one. On that one, you've done well. And I wish that energy can be replicated in very many other areas. But on that one, sir.
The system that the president launched recently at KICC with Joe Musheru can give Nairobi, I'm told, 80 billion shillings.
80B?
80B.
That geo, what was it called?
GIS. GIS mapping. So therefore, what the governor has done is absolutely on point. So that, and I'm extremely disappointed by a ruling that says that Senate cannot oversight on-source revenue from counties, because that's where we plug in, by making sure that counties like Nairobi have the capacity to raise on-source revenue to the extent, just like Germany, one day Nairobi County is going to loan Makueni County money. That's what I'm saying. Or Puara County, or Mombasa.
Correct.
Because they are city counties, and therefore, since all of us come here, they also owe us some obligation. So that sort of thing will come.
And I hope because of that, because over the past 2 years, our revenue in Nairobi has gone down greatly. I hope because of that now, we'll see some improvement.
Real quick, as we wind up, gentlemen, Fred Obach-Machoka,
the blackest man in Africa.
Roga. He's saying, please ask my good friends if Mitumba business is taking this country forward or to the dogs. He says over 50% of hawking is in Mitumba. Senator.
It's both ways. First of all, it's giving money to very poor people. There's some nice clothes that a lot of people buy, which is good, because our industries have collapsed. So that question will only arise if you have industries that are running and doing nice fancy jeans. But those clothes that are selling Kikomba are all over the market, and they're as good as the ones that are in the shops. So it is helping, because I said Mama Wangeshi is a millionaire because she has been selling mitumba. So it cannot be bad business, because she's contributing to the economy.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think it's keeping Kenya clothed. Because until we grow a homegrown, and we know the capacity, a homegrown industry, and it's a question of now what comes before the other. But if the woman in Kikomba knows that she can be able to get jeans from EPZ at 500 and sell for 1,000, she won't import from China.
She will not.
So let's build that homegrown capacity. Let's revive Kikomi. Let's revive cotton growing in this country. Rivertex, and it was booming.
Kikomi, Kisumu cotton mills. Rivertex, Rift Valley textiles.
Or what the governor Kitui is doing in Kitui about the way we are teaching uniform for chiefs.
Yes. Made in Kitui.
Made in Kitui.
You've listened to this from Victor, Chairman Bamboo Association. We are more than willing to make bamboo furniture for public offices, grown and made in Kenya. Kenyans are hardworking. They have the vigor, the intellect to wapatie nafasi. All they want is a fair chance.
My good friend from Toronto has just messaged me.
MM.
The man with the same name twice.
MM. Oh my goodness.
It's amazing he's watching, though.
Oh my goodness.
Miguna, thanks for watching, man. I mean, as much as he slams me on social media and all of us, he says, remind Sakaja that Nelson Mandela and his colleagues were the real opposition and liberation leaders from jail or in exile. Finally, tell him that he should not mock anyone whose human rights have been violated by the same government he is a part of and he supports.
I hope he took it on a light note. When Miguna's issue came to the Senate, ask Mutula. I'm the only person from the Jubilee side who defended, because I'm the vice chair of security, who actually defended his right as a Kenyan.
Is that right?
Yes.
The rest of them oppose?
Not at all. Don't count me.
I mean, they were in the opposition.
I was in the legal team.
I said as those issues let me tell you, I said as the issues of citizenship are being established, he must be treated well, and his human rights must be protected. And number two, Miguna must be reminded. In his first book, he mentions me in his book. He used to have high regard for me before.
Used to?
Yes. Well, in fact, he said a battalion of war-hardened generals and street fighters led by Sakaja. He was talking about, I think, the constitution-making process.
Every time you talk about dual citizenship, or whatever it portends, think about Miguna. So that I have said what is good for the goose is good for the gander.
But the High Court granted he gets his passport back, you know that, and Kenya citizenship.
And many things. And many things, 16 orders that have been violated. I participated in one of them, and the courts issued orders upon orders that you cannot do that to a citizen.
I may not agree with 97% of what he says, but I agree with his right to say it. That is a true democracy.
97%.
Most of what he says, I may not agree with.
Sure.
Maybe the principles, but even how he says it.
Yeah.
But his right to say it, I will defend, including his insults towards me a lot.
Yes.
I think to you.
Oh my goodness.
But he has a right to say it. I'll never curtail that freedom.
Absolutely.
Never.
Freedom.
Never.
It's called freedom.
Freedom.
Somebody described freedom as
Jeff, it's 1:45.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. Is this show 2 days?
Monica, are you ending the show? Monica, we're just having fun here, man. Well done. Gentlemen, good to see you.
We go to view Sasa now.
For 10 bob 2?
10 bob 2?
Senator Johnson Sakaja from Nairobi, Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr. from Makueni. Thank you so much, gentlemen. I appreciate it, man. Always great to see you guys, and you give us hope. You guys really give us hope, and I'm not blowing smoke up your skirts. I'm saying you guys give us hope. As a whole generation.
You know that comment about skirts and smokes? Somebody said yesterday that people are oversighting other things. Be careful about some comments.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Anytime, guys.
See you next quarter.
Please keep coming. Even if they say we're recycling, keep coming. This is our show.
But they're watching.
You know they are. All 10 million. JKLive, powered by Standard Chartered Priority Banking. Thanks so much for being a part of the show. We'll see you tomorrow morning in a few hours' time, huh? Hot 96. Guy, will we make it?
Utarudi.
Wacha nilale hapa.
Watakutafutia kitanda.
We'll see you with Professor Hamu at 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Hot 96, the hottest breakfast show in all of Africa. And then we'll see you back here next week, same time, same place. Remember, the 3 words on the keyboard that follow each other, always check.
JKL. And my daughter even knows that.
Are you serious?
JKL.
Mom, man. Say hello to your daughter.
And my son graduated today.
Congratulations.
My second born from nursery. So congratulations, Tangai. It's a big thing for them, man, and I was there.
Did you have a cap and gown?
Oh, yes. I'll show you photos. Congratulations, Tangai. That's a shout out from
Good night.
You'll watch it tomorrow.